Hi everyone, my name is Cerise, and today I am going to talk about something that anyone who has ever looked after an animal, had a child, or had someone that they love that they were financially responsible for will be able to relate to. So, most of us are kind of in a position of month to month, maybe a little bit of savings. Maybe every now and then you can go on a holiday, but you have debt, you're doing the best you can, and if you were to lose your job, you'd be pretty screwed within 6 months, and if you didn't find another one. So most people are not in a very secure financial position, meaning that if income goes away, that's it, you're screwed. But as important as money is for all of us in this world on a practical level, in the end, when someone you love needs to go to the doctor or needs to go to hospital or whatever, then money doesn't matter. It's just money, but it doesn't change the effect that these unexpected events in our lives can have. So we all know in every fiber of our beings that it's just money, that compared to the value of life, compared to that which we love and hold dear in this world, money means nothing. It's just paper, it's just numbers. But it still has the power to determine what we're going to do with our lives, how we're going to live, how we're going to treat sickness, illness, and injury. Because at the end of the day, if you're in a place that does not offer a free option, a medical option to you, or a veterinary option to you, then you need to find the money from somewhere to pay for the things to keep yourself or your loved ones happy and healthy. So, yes, money is important, but part of the problem that we have created on a global world system kind of scale is that we've given money all of this importance. We have made money and financial or economic status more important than the intrinsic value of life. So we have people who have the perception that if you don't have a good job or if you're not earning decent money, it means that you as an individual have less value, have less worth. Or animals, because they are not exactly like we are, they have less value, they have less worth. It's okay if they suffer if you don't have the money to pay for their treatment. They're just animals. And it's like, furthermore to that, we have this belief, it's like it's built into us from the moment we're born that money is important, that money determines your life, that money is everything. And while at the same time money has no real worth when you're comparing it to the value of life, that hasn't actually really come through in how we live, because we are still living in and accepting. And when I say accepting, I mean that we're just saying to ourselves, this is just the way things are. I just need to deal with it. This is the way the world is. Yeah, it's crap, but it's the way that it is. So we're still accepting the way that we all together work with money, the way that we all live the word money and value and worth. So our living actions have proven every single day that money is more important than life in our world system. And because we all participate in this world system and give it that same value and worth and meaning, we are all keeping it going. So it's like, I ask myself the question, I know that when it comes to life, money has no value or meaning, but why does it still trigger such a reaction in me when someone gets sick or when an animal gets sick? Why do I have this intense fear? Or the first thought is, let me see what happens, because the vet's going to be really expensive, or the doctor and the medication is going to be really expensive. And it's something that, it's a response that I kind of try and deny, but I know it's there, and I have to be willing to be honest with myself that I do have this response. I have allowed this programming of money and the value of money to become a part of me. And that shows in how I respond to situations where I might have to spend money in order to preserve a life or in order to heal. And rationally I tell myself it's just money, but that fear is still there, that anxiety of what is this going to mean for the rest of the month? What is this going to mean at the end of the month when I have to pay the bills? Am I going to have enough? And yes, there are two dimensions at work there. There is my personal relationship to money, which is something that we all share to some degree and in some kind of form or manifestation. Maybe not exactly the same, but we all have our own relationships with money. And yes, different people may have different points to face within that, but it's going to be more or less similar. And then there is the systemic kind of nature of money, and the nature of money is how we have created it, because what is money but a creation of humanity? So I am separating those two. Yes, the way that we live the word money in our lives is not acceptable. The way that we devalue life in favor of money is not acceptable. Money should not determine any part of anyone's living conditions or ability to thrive and simply have a good life. That is like the given, but I'm not dealing with that at the moment, so put that aside for now. What I am dealing with is, who are we in relation to money? Who are we in relation to how we have valued money? How we live the way that we value money and the way that we value life? And what is really more important to us in our daily actions, in the words that we think and speak every day, the things that we think, speak and do when things go wrong, when we need to spend money. Who are we in those moments? Because those are the moments that really tell you what you have created yourself to be and how you have developed your relationship with money. And yes, of course, we can change these points. Yes, definitely, absolutely. With difficulty, sure. But we can all do it. And part of what it takes is reminding ourselves of the intrinsic value of life and remaining practical within how we're working with the resources that we have available to us at hand in our lives right now. meaning that we need to let go of the fearful, anxiety, stressful, sometimes even resentful and angry relationships that we have formed around how we work with money, because all of those emotional responses, even if they are subtle, are going to influence how we work with money. So in the end, it becomes a question of, how do I practically in my life live the value and worth that I know is within each and every living being, with what I have available, meaning the resources I have available, money, which is one of those resources, so that money does not determine who I am. It does not determine my choices. It does not influence my choices. It is merely a factor that I consider within how I am looking at what options are available to me and how I move forward. Okay, I'm going to end it off there. Thank you very much for watching. And if you would like to support me in what I'm doing, you can spend some of your hard-earned money every month by being one of my patrons on Patreon. And I'll see you next time. Oh, right, if you have any questions, comments, would like me to go deeper into the topic, leave a message, drop a comment, whatever, and I shall endeavor to do another video for you. See you next time.